Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'd now like to hand over to Angel Giorgio Iorizzo from the European Commission, who is going to give a short introduction. Thank you, Angel Giorgio.
Thank you, Jessica, for giving me the floor. I'm happy to be here with you for this final meeting of Tandem project. That was really a timely project because it really gave an input regarding the maximum possible utilization of nuclear in order to achieve the European climate goals. Having nuclear not only for electricity production, but also for the production of process heat to decarbonize energy-intensive industry and for district heating, is now recognized as one of the means to achieve the decarbonization goals of the Commission. On top of this, it's also the possibility to boost the European industrial competitiveness. So, achieving the climate goals has to be coupled, and more of this has to be used as a means of increase our European industrial capabilities. Andrei, that will give shortly a presentation on the activities of the European Industrial Alliance on SMRs. We'll update you on this. I can only anticipate that the second General Assembly will take place here in Brussels on the 1st of September 2025. So I'm now happy to give the floor, I think, to Andrei, that was with me in the Secretariat of the General Assembly. Maybe he's a bit late because he was with me in another meeting. Okay, so while we wait for him, yes, we can start uploading the presentation that here he is. I give you now the floor to Andrei that will present the status of the European Industrial Alliance on SMRs.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so I have to sit here, even though I wanted to make it. So, sorry? Yeah, it's fine. I see. So, good morning again. A lot of familiar faces. That I remember that when we started the project, the Tandem project, we didn't know that if the alliance will start. Now we are here. So about the alliance, I will do the presentation on behalf of the Secretariat. As you can see, there are 3 organizations which are part of this alliance. Angel Giorgio is as well part of the Secretariat, and he could have do it, but he's a project officer, so it would have been fair. So I'm representing in the Alliance Nuclear Europe, as I said, and together with the Commission, DG RTD, DG Ener, DG GROW, and GRC, but also SNETP. We are working on this alliance, which was launched more than 1 year ago. It's still quite young, but a lot of things were happening. And you will see later on a timeline of this of the alliance. For those, I don't think that it's working. This to move. But yeah.
Just 1 second. Okay, please.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So the main objective of the alliance is to facilitate and accelerate the development, demonstration, and deployment of SMR projects in Europe in the early 2030s. So this is the main one. But then we have some specific objectives, like providing support for the customized support for the SMR projects, and you'll see later on some information about the projects, but also enabling condition to ensure the further deployment, the operation and maintenance of SMRs. So what will happen after the first project will be implemented? You have some QR codes. You can download the documents. In case you are not members of the alliance, I have to say that the call for members is open, so you can apply, even though the review of the applications is done periodically. So it's every 2-3 months is done. So it's not done right away. Talking about the membership, and this is the updated figure that we have. I think that the review was done recently of the new members. So we reached 353 members, which is making one of the most successful industrial alliance at EU level. There are several of them established. Maybe you heard about the hydrogen, Clean Hydrogen Alliance, battery, but also solar PV and so on. So different technologies. But this one is it's quite successful. Having a lot of interest from the different members, and you can see what is the geographical membership of the alliance. Of course, we have a lot of members from France, but also Italy is having a lot of members, even if there are no reactors on operation, but the supply chain is very present there. And you can see that we have covered most of the EU member states, but also other candidates member states are also allowed, and we have also Norway who can become members from Norway who can apply for this alliance. Very interesting is also to see what is the distribution on the type of the organization, and we have a lot of SMRs project developers, which I think that is very important, but also supply chain is very well represented. And we have also you will see later what are the activities. We have civil society, but also financial institutions and so on. Research is also very well represented, and one of the technical working groups is dealing with this part. 5 technologies, so light water SMRs, but also AMRs, and 29 designs are represented in the alliance. Some principles of the alliance. I think that those principles are available for all the alliances, EU industrial alliances, so diversity and inclusiveness, openness and transparency, and you can find more information on the website of the alliance. Now, talking about the governance, we will go into details about the technical working groups and the project working groups, but it's important to say that we have the General Assembly, which actually is chaired by 3 commissioners. It was done also in the previous commission, but also in this one. So we have Commissioner Jorgensen, Commissioner Zaharieva, and Executive Vice President Sejourné. And then we have the governing board, which is meeting regularly, and it's dealing with the matters of the alliance. The General Assembly is meeting only once per year, and Stakeholders Forum, which is a meeting that is meant to be for the non-members of the alliance. Of course, the members of the alliance can join as well, but the idea is to show what are the activities of the alliance to the ones who are not yet members and they would like to become in the future. And then we have these technical working groups and project working groups, basically interacting one to the other. Actually, technical working groups are the one providing support to the project working groups. And you saw earlier that is one of the objectives of the alliance, so to provide support to the project working groups, and this is what the technical working groups are doing. We have also some ad hoc roundtables if it's the case, like, for example, discussions with the regulators and so on. Regarding the working methods, I have already started to say a few things. So we have the technical working groups, which are providing support to the project working groups, and some specific activities. I will not go so much into details. I would like to go maybe directly to the technical working groups. So there are 8 of them that were established from the very beginning, based on topics that were identified as important for the discussions. Some of the topics were also discussed in the initiative that was taking place before the alliance was launched, so the European SMR pre-partnership. And we added in the alliance some additional topics, like, for example, public engagement, but also skills that were not, industrial applications were not specifically treated in the pre-partnership. So we have these 8 technical working groups, and some of them started earlier because of the topic and the need to address it faster. And then in October, in the second batch of the technical working groups had the kickoff meetings. So everything was happening last year. As I was saying, there was a lot of activities just after it was launched in February. So you can see in June, we already started to work with some technical working groups. And then in October, the second part. They are working independently, but also they are collaborating because some topics are needed to be assessed by cross-technical working groups. And then we have the first batch of the identified projects, and it was happening in October. We have 9 projects. We have light water SMRs, but also AMRs. And those projects, of course, started after these announcements. They started to work with the project, with the technical working groups in order to assess their, to let the technical working groups what are their needs, and the technical working groups to look at those topics. Then we are having the indicative timeline. A big part of it is not indicative anymore. It was happening in the past. So 6th February, then we had a dissemination event in Brussels, and one important, very important meeting was the first General Assembly, end of May. So you can see that was very, how to say, fast organized, this General Assembly. Meanwhile, we had, and after that, we had several governing board meetings where important decisions were taken. The last governing board meeting was at the end of May, and now we know and we have the date of the second General Assembly, which is 1st of September. So if you are a member of the Alliance, please register for this. The General Assembly is dedicated only to the members of the Alliance. And as I was also mentioning, the Stakeholders Forum, the event for non-members, will take place somewhere in autumn. The date should be still to be decided. Maybe here it's missing, well, it's not an action of the Alliance, but it's related to the Alliance. It's a communication on SMR that is expecting in the first quarter of 2026. And that communication will have also, or will have as reference the strategic action plan that you see that is mentioned here is almost close to be finalized, this strategic action plan, which is actually taking the actions of each technical working groups, but also taking into account the needs of the project working group. So this document will be finalized and will be discussed in the second General Assembly. And this document, as I said, will be a reference for the communication on SMRs that will be published in the first quarter of 2026. Now, just to show you some figures of what happened in the last General Assembly. So in last May, it was just a few months after the Alliance was launched, but the room was full. A lot of interest, more than 240 people in person, and maybe it would have been more, but it was a room limitation, and we had a lot of people online. You can see also the reactions of the 3 commissioners that were participating that time. So the previous commission the Alliance was supported by Kadri Simpson, the Commissioner for Energy, Thierry Breton for Single Market, and Ms. Ivanova for Research. So more or less, those are our slides. You can find here the QR for more information about the Alliance. You have there also the updated membership, so you can find the list. You have also a general presentation, so there are a lot of information on it. Thank you. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Andre. I think we have a couple of minutes for any questions that any of you may have. Perfect. We've got the mics working. Yes. Willing to take any questions? Anyone that you want to ask Andre? Unfortunately, Andre won't be able to stay with us for the full day, so you can always drop him an email afterwards if you've got more questions.
Maybe everyone is a member of the Alliance.
Indeed, maybe you all know everything.
I mean, it's not
But yes. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, Andre. We'll now just bear with me one moment whilst I bring up the next set of slides. So hopefully people online can see slides. And with that, I'd like now to hand over to our project coordinator, who I assume all of you know very well. So Claire Vallier-Goudard, she is from CEA, and she's going to provide us with a short overview of the TANDEM project. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you very much, Jessica, for this kind introduction. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to see so many of you, so many people that I know, members, partners of the TANDEM Consortium, other collaborative project we are in contact with, some support from our industrial user groups, scientific advisory committee, some friends, and also some other people. I hope that you will enjoy the conference. You will learn some information about SMRs and integration into hybrid energy systems, hybrid nuclear hybrid energy systems as well, nuclear cogeneration. I hope that you will also share your feedback with us, with the TANDEM team. You will also engage the discussion with us. The main goal of this conference today is really to share our results and to discuss them with all of you. So now let's start. I will provide a short overview of the TANDEM project. The idea is just to give an introduction of the whole day of all the presentations during this one-day conference. So the main goal of the TANDEM project is to support the safe and the cost-effective integration of SMRs within low-carbon hybrid energy systems. And in this slide, you can see an illustration of hybrid energy systems at a local scale. We envisage the introduction of small modular reactors in a urban area, and you have an example on the left-hand side. We also envisage, for instance, the integration of small modular reactors into industrial zones, such port infrastructure, and you have an example of this kind of introduction on the right-hand side. SMR can be hybridized into hybrid energy systems, and thus hybridized with renewables, energy storage systems, heat network, and energy conversion application. TANDEM stands for Small Modular Reactors for European Safe and Decarbonized Energy Mix. The project started in 2022, 3 years ago, and will be over next month by the end of August. 3 high-level objectives are associated with the project. The first one is to assess the safety compliance of SMRs to be integrated in the future European energy mix. The second one is to provide guidance in a deployment perspective for the future integration of light water SMRs and Gen 4 advanced modular reactors, AMRs, into well-balanced hybrid energy systems. In TANDEM, we mainly focus on the study of the integration of light water SMRs for a short-term deployment by the 2030s. However, when our results are technology neutral, I would say we intend also to extend our results, our conclusion, to AMRs of generation 4. The third high-level objectives of TANDEM is also to create an enabling environment for the development of hybrid energy systems based on SMRs and AMRs. We have 2 ambitions. The first one is to promote versatile SMRs integrated into hybrid energy systems as reliable, resilient, and affordable clean energy option in Europe. And the second one is to become a pioneer initiative in gathering effort and expertise around the development of SMR integration into hybrid energy systems in Europe. The TANDEM Consortium is composed of 18 partners from 8 European countries, Belgium, Czech Republic, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Ukraine. We are universities, RTOs, TSOs, industrials, and engineering organizations. Now I'm going to To provide a very brief overview of the main TANDEM outcomes. First, we contribute to the development of an integrated vision of energy systems at a local scale. We carried out feasibility studies of nuclear hybrid energy systems from various points of view, technical performances, safety, techno-economics, citizen engagement. As you know, we will face a very huge challenge regarding energy decarbonization in Europe in the coming years. When you look at the report provided by the pre-partnership, it is the organization set up just before the European Industrial Alliance. You can see that we expect to have a very large needs regarding electricity, regarding hydrogen, regarding also heat for district heating, for instance. Regarding also water, it will be the next challenge, probably in the coming years and in the coming decades, fresh water. So the idea is really to see how nuclear can can provide support to this energy needs for low carbon energy. The project has defined for its own studies two hybrid energy systems configurations based on base estimate projection of energy scenarios consistent with the European policy, in particular consistently with what the Alliance on SMRs is saying, of course. And also consistently with the current knowledge of energy market evolution. On the left-hand side, you can see a district heating configuration. This hybrid energy system is envisaged for district heating and low and power supply for a large urban area. And on the right-hand side, you can see the energy hub configuration defined by the project. It is a hybrid energy system concept where multiple energy carriers, heat, electricity, hydrogen, issued from various energy sources can be converted, stored, and supplied for end-user segments in an industrial area. The layout of the hybrid energy system configurations are only intended to identify the key components to be considered in these systems. For instance, combined cycle gas turbines, CCGTs, district heating networks, hydrogen production with high temperature steam electrolyzers and low temperature electrolyzers. And in the TANDEM study, for instance, CCGTs are progressively replaced by low carbon energy solutions, by renewables, by nuclear, SMRs in particular. And the objective of the project is to study the benefit of integrating progressively, step by step, SMRs in these hybrid energy systems. In the project, we developed tools and methodologies to assess hybrid energy systems. We developed and released a new tool, open source Modelica-based library, gathering models of hybrid energy systems components. And by developing a numerical coupling between all these models of components, we succeeded in developing also simulators of hybrid energy systems. We extended the capabilities of existing tools. These existing tools are safety codes, thermohydraulic systems codes, such as ATLET, developed by GRS, Qatar, developed by CEA. These existing tools are also techno-economics tools, Backbone, developed by VTT, Percy, developed by CA. And the idea to extend these tool capabilities was to develop coupling between these existing tools and the Modelica-based library in order to get, for instance, an holistic model of hybrid energy systems. We worked also on the extension of the safety approach implemented for a conventional light water SMR dedicated to electricity production to a light water SMR in cogeneration, what we envisage in hybrid energy systems. We also defined several transients related to design basis condition relevant for analyzing the impact of hybridization of nuclear reactor behavior, and in particular for analyzing the impact of the coupling of the interaction between nuclear and the other non-nuclear components, industrial components for downstream application, for instance. We studied, we modeled, we analyzed a sudden increase or decrease of the heat demand by the end users, a sudden rejection of electricity demand, a loss of external electrical load leading to a long-term loss of off-site power. We also worked on social acceptance and citizen engagement. We organized some workshops in European countries, countries of our TANDEM partners. The idea was to give some information, to give insights about SMR's technologies, about the fact also that nuclear can provide other services, other products than only electricity, which can be quite new for citizens. We collected also their feedback. It's quite interesting for us to collect this, to collect citizen feedback and to share it with all stakeholders involved in this kind of studies, SMR deployment, development, deployment. We provided also practical insights and finding to industry and public organization to plan and execute effective citizens and stakeholder engagement events. We worked also on education and training needs in order to prepare the workforce for the workforce required for SMR deployment and development and deployment. If I come back to technical studies, after defining, sorry, it's frozen. Doesn't matter, at least for this one, I can go on. We work on the development of three study cases in TANDEM. These study cases has been derived from the two hybrid energy systems configuration that we saw previously in the previous slide. The two first study cases were dedicated to the district heating configuration. They are dealing with studies located in the metropolitan region of the Helsinki city in Finland. And we also developed a study case in the Moravian Silesian region in the Czech Republic. The study case for the energy hub configuration is inspired from an Arbor-like infrastructure, and we implemented our techno-economics tools, Backbone and Per se, in order to study these three study cases. From the techno-economic point of view, we performed in particular the sizing of this for the various components of this hybrid energy, considering a low emission of CO2 and also considering the minimization of the cost, for instance. For the next slide. For this one, it was okay. So now we are at the end of the project. We obtain all our results, our technical results, and we are preparing some technical guidance, some technical recommendation, and also policy brief. And in particular, this policy brief will be presented in the next presentation. One other outcomes and Tandem, maybe the last presented in my presentation, but not the last but not the least. It is the fact that we built a new scientific community dedicated to the study of hybrid energy systems and the integration of small modular reactor in these hybrid energy systems in Europe. We are connected with various entities, with various organizations. We are connected with other European projects, with NN2+, with EasySMR, with SANE, with Gemini, with Elsmore. It was a previous project. I'm sorry, I will forget some other project and some friends, but they are on the slide. Okay. We are also connected with other organizations. We set up a scientific advisory committee. This scientific advisory committee is composed of representatives from IAEA, from US INL, from US MIT. And the objective of this scientific advisory committee is to provide guidance on our methodologies, on our results, and also to make the connection with some initiatives that we don't know. So they facilitate the discussions with other representatives from NEA, for instance. We have set up also an industrial user group. This industrial user group is composed of a dozen of members, and the idea of this industrial user group was to share our results, to collect their needs, to discuss about SMR deployment, their integration into hybrid energy systems, the feasibility associated with this idea. Citizen engagement, social acceptance, and so on. So all these different aspects that I am just talking about will be presented in the next presentation. So I hope that you will have a very nice conference. You will enjoy it. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Claire. Are there any questions?
Yes.
Yes, Sergio B, Belgium Nuclear Forum. Thanks for your explanation. It's very, very interesting. I saw that you have talked about the safety issue and the safety rules. Evidence is high importance. Do you have integrate the regulator and the different safety agency in the scope? Because you know that we have a problem in Europe to have an homogeneity about this kind of topics, and I'm not sure that this is taken into account.
Yes, thank you very much for the question. We had a limited effort, a little budget, of course, in Tandem. We mainly focus on safety studies. What is new regarding safety of the integration of SMRs into hybrid energy system? What do we need to consider due to the coupling? We had TSOs in our project, so it was the the idea was to make them discuss, but not to get an homogenized approach for licensing. It's not really our role, even if we can facilitate. However, in our industrial user group, we had a chance to involve, for instance, the French INARIS, which is the regulator dedicated to industrial risk, non-nuclear industrial risk. And the objective was also to discuss of safety, security between nuclear regulator and non-nuclear regulator, and to try to really initiate for first thoughts at this point. Is there any other question, comments?
Thank you very much for the presentation. And my question follows on exactly from a previous question. For some kind of multinational licensing to reduce the amount of lost time in having to get a license in every single member state and every other state in the world. As an example, once that is licensed, it can take off and land in every country in the world, and therefore sales and so on can be accurately predicted, and the investments can be accurately made.
Yeah, yes, of course. We need to have a joint approach for licensing. Yes, definitely. Maybe it's something that can be tackled by the European Industrial Alliance on SMRs. We can provide recommendations to highlight once again that it is very important. In our industrial user group, we also have this kind of discussion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I meant it really only to the level of generic design assessment, GDA. And if you look what happened with the bigger reactors, particularly in Finland, there was an extent of design change. That means the first 2 or 3 are not exactly the same. The sister stations are more like cousins.
Sure. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you, Claire, for the nice presentation. I have a question regarding the integrated approach between SMR and, for example, hydrogen production or other renewables or scopes. Did you analyze in the safety and standards, even the interaction between standards from the side of SMR and hydrogen, for example, as well as safety issues that are in between? Or looking only vertically to the SMR topic?
We mainly look at the events that could be initiating events from the non-nuclear part and how they can impact the nuclear reactor. So it's really the safety of the nuclear reactor. We had no time to look at, for instance, consideration due to collocation, external hazard due to hydrogen blowdown or something like that. But of course, it is traced in our study, in our document that we need to study everything, but we only focus on a short part of safety.
Okay, thank you. And just a comment on you were mentioning the issue of the water before. Just for information, I'm president of Hydrogen Europe Research, so contributing to the European program of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership. We have 5 projects running on producing hydrogen from seawater directly without purification, and next year we will launch a project to produce hydrogen from tap grey waters that could simplify probably the issue on that side.
Great news. Thank you for the information. And to do go on safety studies, it's of course a recommendation of TANDEM. We will share at the end some consideration about what next after TANDEM and to go on safety, and what is linked with hydrogen risk assessment could be also a goal for new initiatives and projects. What I forgot to say at the end of my presentation, it was the last slide, I'm sorry, just to let you know that all our technical documents are open, so you can see everything, all our results on the TANDEM website. They are all available. All the reports are already available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. Are there any other questions?
Thank you for the nice presentation. I was wondering if from the experience of the project, that there have requirements emerged on the need of, the ICT infrastructure, the control infrastructure from the digital standpoint in the integration, or if it is assumed that this wouldn't be a particular problem in general.
Thank you for the question. We go into further detail with this question. In TANDEM, we didn't study a design in particular. We study the ESMR, the European SMR, which is a concept, an academic concept developed in a former project. It was developed only by partners of the project, the ELSMAR project, VTT, GRS, Polimi, Politecnico di Milano also, and the idea was to develop a concept from the system point of view, not the core, for instance. So when we are discussing INC, it requires further information regarding the whole system, I assume. Even if in our study, for safety studies in particular, you will see we considered some INC, but just some hypotheses.